Does this make up for the way that they played in the first two games of the series? Absolutely not. But they did exactly what I said that they had to do, and then some. They came out, and let me just tell you, Jesus Luzardo pitched out of his mind. He was nasty out there tonight. And you know what? He looked like Jesus Luzardo that we saw in the beginning of the year. And then the offense just completely exploded. I mean, more than I thought they were going to. They were getting extra base hits, driving everybody in, working counts. They worked Verlander out of the game. They looked like professional hitters at the plate. It was great to watch. Bryce Harper, he went crazy. Harper finally looked like the old vintage Bryce Harper that we're used to. So does this excuse for what we saw in the first two game series? Does this make it all better because they showed up and they hit the ball better and they pitched better? Absolutely not. Still the most pathetic baseball in the first two games of the series. I mean, it's uninspiring baseball, the first two games of the series. You know, so when I said, coming into the game, and last night on the Phillies post-game show here on Broad Street Sports, I said, hey, where we need to be, we need a great start out of Luzardo. Check. You need the offense to jump on Verlander early and work him out of the game. Check. You need the offense to not only get on base, but you need them to drive guys in consistently. Get on base and drive guys in consistently. And we got that tonight, folks. We got that tonight, and it was more than I expected them to do. Way more than I expected them to do. And I'm proud of what I seen out of the Phillies today. And you know what? I knew they had it in them. It was just, what was it going to take for them to show that? What was it going to take? Like I knew all along the Phillies had it in them to go out there and play good, solid baseball. Good, solid, start to finish baseball. I knew they had it in them. It was just, what will it take for them to get that? What will it take for them to show up and actually perform the way that we know that they can perform? You get what I mean? Like when I say that. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome on in the Broad Street Sports Phillies post-game show. Your home for the best Philly sports talk every single day and unfiltered. If you are new to the show, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. Send this to people you know. It really helps me out. But yeah, man, make sure you guys like, subscribe. The Phillies, man. And of course, as it says on the top of the screen, if you would like to call into the show, 215-839-8246. If you would like to call in like a live radio sports talk, you can do that. If you'd like to just leave a voicemail, I'll play it. Whatever you'd like to do, call into the show, 215-839-8246. But, yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, this doesn't excuse for the bad baseball that we saw in the first two games. And we finally heard something from Topper, because last night, and I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about last night. There's so many positives to get into when it comes to this baseball game tonight for this team. But where it stands for me, I just want to talk about last night for about 2 seconds. Because when Romano was getting into trouble, when he was running into trouble there in the ninth, and when I was surprised that Topper left him in there, after his eighth inning of work, I was like, hey, whoa, caller? What's up, man? State your name and where you're from.
It's Tony fucking Lasagna from Little fucking Italy.
What's up, pal? What's up, pal?
What's going on?
What up, brother?
How about the fucking Phillies, huh? They freaking suck.
Hey, you know what? Put up a lot of runs. They put them up.
Yeah, they let up a lot of runs, too.
Not tonight, though.
I don't know.
Not tonight. What do you got for me?
Not much. The whole fucking Phillies.
Oh, my God.
Shitty-ass team.
Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
No.
No?
I'm done watching that stupid-ass team.
I
give up.
So you're not watching the team?
I'm ready for WNBA Philadelphia 2030. That's what I'm waiting for.
In 5 years, that's what you're ready for? You're preparing for the WNBA?
Preparing for the draft.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well,
I'm helping train one of my buddies. My buddy Jimmy Knight. He said he's going to turn into the WNBA superstar.
oh,
That's
did
what
he
I'm
say
doing.
that?
I
Did he
give up
really?
baseball.
He said that?
Yep.
What else you got on the Phillies for me, pal?
I don't know the question. I don't know. Ask us a question.
I got nothing to ask. You're calling into my show.
You're calling into my show.
Yeah,
You think
all
you'll
right,
pick anyone
pal.
up?
All right, pal. All right. Well, thanks for the call, man. Where was I at with that? Where was I at? It doesn't make up for what we saw in the first 2 games. Pathetic. Oh, I was talking about Rob Thompson. So, obviously when Romano was in the trouble early there or late in the game in the 9th, and I was surprised that Topper continued to go with him there after his 8th inning of work. And we heard from Topper today. He says that Kirkring was having shoulder soreness, which is why I didn't go with him. And, we were told that he was warming up in the bullpen. We were told before he was warming up in the bullpen, getting ready to go. And so I was confused that they didn't put him in there. It is what it is. But yeah, man, that is where we are. So as I sit here now, let's start with the positives from today because, everything from today was a positive. Enough of last night, enough of the series as a whole. Let's just talk about tonight. And I'm going to say this, man. Jesus Luzardo looked exactly the way that he did in the beginning of the season. He was filthy this afternoon. He was lights out. 7 innings of 7 strikeouts, 3 hit baseball. It was great. And going into the game, I was a little nervous. I was like, what version of Jesus Luzardo are we going to get? Well, he came out, he was working, and he was pounding the zone. And that was the Jesus Luzardo that we need consistently. He needs to work himself back into the way that he was. But this was a good stepping stone for Luzardo. He went 7 scoreless. We didn't have to breach into the bullpen. He didn't shit on the game. He was great. And he shut him down, which put the offense in a great position to score, to win the game. I'm very proud about what I saw out of Jesus Luzardo. Very proud of what I saw out of Jesus Luzardo. Because it's not every day with Luzardo that you're sitting there. Well, this is his best start in about a month. We want to talk about Jesus Luzardo. This is by far Jesus Luzardo's best start in about a month. He was lights out. He was filthy. It's up there with one of his best starts. He was that good tonight. He was that good. When he would work into trouble, work into a little bit of a jam, maybe, get some guys on base, get some traffic on base, he's working out of it. Double play, working this bottom of the zone. I thought he was just magnificent. I really did. And that's 3 straight games of very good starting pitching out of the Phillies. Because remember, we had the great start from Christopher Sanchez that was, that was wasted because our team doesn't know how to play. So that was wasted. Then you had the good start out of Walker last night, which nobody really expected. But he was pretty good last night. And then you have the great start out of Jesus Luzardo. Very proud about what I saw. I'm very proud. Wow. I'll tell you. Jesus Luzardo. And it's like a I don't know. It's like a cat and mouse type of thing with Luzardo. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes he's terrible. This is the first time in about a friggin' month he was lights out. And I keep talking about how lights out he was. He was crazy. He got up there. He took them out. And now there's a difference that I saw, and I'm pretty sure it was Room Tomorrow on the broadcast call who pointed it out. So to start the season, Jesus Luzardo, when he would come set, he was more like where he was coming set at was down towards his waist, bottom of his belly, down at his waist. And then when he was tipping his pitches and going through his really bad stretch, he was coming set like at the stomach. And then if you saw today, he was coming set back down at the waist. So he started the year coming set at his waist. Then when he was running into the trouble with the what's it called? With the tipping of the pitches, that's when you saw him, at his belly, at his chest, coming set. Now he's back down at his waist, and he looked much more comfortable, much more poised. And I thought he pitched very good, solid 7 innings of professional pitcher baseball. That's what it was tonight. It's exactly what it was, folks. That is exactly what it was, man. Solid baseball. And he wasn't the only positive from tonight. Wasn't the only positive. How about Bryce Harper? Bryce Harper. He is like, and you know what? When he came back, I was a little bit concerned about his wrist problem, about how he was, about who he was, about his identity, because he looked pretty lost up there at the plate. No problem from Bryce Harper this afternoon, folks. Not a problem from Bryce Harper this afternoon. So Bryce Harper this afternoon goes 4 for 6 with 3 doubles and a homer. He was driving pitches the other way, working counts. And I'll tell you this was genuinely the first time since he came back from the wrist injury where I was like, okay, he looks like Bryce Harper. This is the first time since he came back from the injury where I was like, okay, we have the MVP Bryce Harper. And that's the way that he played this afternoon. That is by far the way that he pitched played this afternoon. Like I'm trying to find the words, right? Like because it wasn't just him. It was not just him. Oh no. It was the entire offense as a whole, right? You think about it. You were waiting for the offense to finally explode and jolt together, get extra base hits, drive everybody home, work counts, work the starting pitcher out of the game. That's exactly what they did. And it was led particularly by Bryce Harper. He's the one who really started to get things going. He actually looked like the Bryce Harper that we all expect Bryce Harper to be. They drove runs in, and it wasn't just him. Castellanos, Schwarber, Bohm, Marsh, everybody was getting in. And I'm what the guy that was like, okay, we needed to put up 13 runs to win the game. No, but you needed to build a comfortable lead and get runs in early. And they did that. And once they started to score early, they ran with it. And that's the way that this Phillies offense needs to be consistently. I mean, even JT Realmuto, who seemingly could never hit water if he fell out of a boat, he's driving balls the other way and down into the corners. He played very good baseball. So the offense as a whole, and they were getting stifled down. They were getting they couldn't get anything going with Verlander early on in the first 2 innings. And then after that, I mean, they turned on the burners and they worked them up to about 100 pitches. A bunch of runs coming in. They pounded the bullpen that came in. It got so bad they put Mike Yastrzemski in the game. I mean, so all in all, you want to talk about positives. That was the big. That I wouldn't even say that's the biggest positive. I think the biggest positive was still Jesus Luzardo, right? I still think that was the biggest positive. But outside of Jesus Luzardo, it was very easily the offense, and just a little bit more on Harper. When you think about Bryce Harper, and I'm trying to find the words here, like everybody was so worried about Bryce Harper's wrist, and me included. I was like, he doesn't look like Harper up there. He doesn't look like himself. He's not confident. Look, today was genuinely the first day since he came back from that injury where I can say he looked like the MVP Bryce Harper. Driving balls the other way, gap to gap, hitting homers, working counts, swinging hard, being the leader that this team needs, jolting this team. That was the Bryce Harper that we saw today. But that was that. But that now that we've seen Bryce, that it's capable of Bryce Harper now we need Bryce Harper to step it up more consistently. We need Bryce Harper because here's the thing. Before he's come back from the wrist injury, he said he didn't feel well. We were like, okay, whatever, he'll ease into it. Now that we've seen that Bryce Harper can sit here and and put a good show on, now we want him to do that consistently. Now we need Bryce Harper to do that at all times. I'm not saying he's got to go 4 for 6 with 3 doubles and a homer, but he needs to be the leader at the plate. He needs to, work counts, drive balls into the gap, hit homers. That's who Bryce Harper needs to be. Because it's just so funny. When Bryce Harper is playing the way that he is, this team follows. And I've been saying that forever. I'm not the only guy to say that. But when Bryce Harper shows up to play good baseball like he did today, the rest of the offense follows. The rest of the offense wants to play and hit ball gap to gap through the holes, right? You know what I mean? Without Bryce Harper, not even without Bryce Harper, but without Bryce Harper playing good, consistent baseball at the plate, this offense is clueless up there, just like last night, and especially like the first game of the series. They were clueless. Tonight, work counts. He looked good. He looked great. And again, I'm not saying he has to go 4 for 6 every night with 3 doubles and a homer. By all means, it's not what he's got to do. But he has to be better. He has to be, a version of Bryce Harper that everybody can get behind. And again, that's exactly who he was tonight. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm not done the show, but if you guys are new to the show, please subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the like button, comment. If you guys want to call into the show, 215-839-8246. We'll take any phone call you have on the Phillies series finale. I can't even say they squeaked by. I mean, they blew them out. They smoked them. Great win. And just again on that statement that I said in the beginning, we can't look. I knew the Phillies had a type of game like this in them. I knew they had it in them. You know what I mean? I knew they had it in them. It was just, when were they going to play baseball like that? You know what I mean? I knew the Phillies had a game like this in them. I knew they had it. It was just, when were they going to show it? How were they going to show it? This doesn't excuse for the first 2 games of the series, which were pathetic, but you got a great start out of Jesus Luzardo. He was nasty out there, and you actually didn't waste his start. You put his good start to good use from the offensive side. Offense exploded. Harper was great. Schwarber was great. Bohm was great. The offense was great as a whole. The entire team was great as a whole, man. You know what I mean? When you're now, here's the thing. Now you're going into San Diego. You're playing another very good baseball team. And here's the thing. I think you go and play San Diego. I mean, what? You beat them. We beat them in the series when they were in Philly. What was that, last week? You need to show up and play good, consistent baseball now. We know you're not good at Oracle Park. We know you're not good against the Giants, right? You're not good. Whatever. Right? We know you're not good. The whole 9 yards, we get it. But we need you now to be like, hey, this is, you need to kind of tack things on now. You need to, you're on a West Coast trip. I say you have to go and win this series against San Diego. You got to go win this series against San Diego. Because here's the thing. We already knew and figured you weren't going to win the series against against San Francisco. So now you've won the series finale. You have a win going. Now let's go win the series in San Diego. It's not impossible. You already beat them up before. Let's just keep it going. I'm not trying to be Mr. Positive, and I'm also not trying to be Mr. Negative either. I'm just trying to be Mr. Realistic. That's who I'm trying to be right now, because this Phillies team, they have all the right pieces, especially with Zach Wheeler going on Saturday. I mean, let me see who's going on Friday, but I'm 99.9% sure that Saturday is Wheeler. So Friday is Suarez. I mean, you got Suarez, Wheeler, and then Sunday is Sanchez. So, hey, man, you're in a great position. You have your three best and most consistent pitchers on the mound. Go out, go in, go work, go put, give your pitchers, your starting pitchers, some run support, will you? Go out there, play consistent baseball. Of course, you don't have to put up 13,000 runs again. You don't have to do it. It'd be nice, but you don't have to. Go out, work counts, get the starting pitcher out of the game, because you remember, I mean, that's what worked tonight. It's exactly what worked tonight. That baseball, getting guys on, doing this, doing that, behind some great pitching, that wins you games. I don't know. Feel like I'm like sputtering now. Luzardo, great. Harper, great. Before I go, let me just run you guys through the entire Phillies. Just run you guys through the Phillies lineup, okay? Turner 0 for 5, but he did have that sac fly. Who did? Schwarber was 1 for 5. He obviously had that 3-run blast. Harper 4 for 6. He went with 3 doubles in the homer, obviously. Bohm had a couple singles. RBI singles, may I add. Castellanos 2 for 4. He had an RBI single. Kepler, mediocre at best. Real Muto played very good baseball today. Marsh played good baseball. Stott, too. Joe Ross was pretty electric out of the pen. Seth Johnson. Seth friggin' Johnson. Not pretty. I mean, it's like scary when you don't know who these guys are coming in. I mean, Seth friggin' Johnson is the guy coming out of the pen. I mean, I know you're up 13-zip. But could you imagine you got to – I mean, and it's happened before. The Seth Johnson era where, people like Seth Johnson coming in and it's like, oh, my God, we're up by 2 runs or a run and we got Seth Johnson coming in the game. I don't know. I'm Mr. Happy. I'm Mr. Positive, because after I lost sleep last night, because remember, I did the show at 12:45. So at 12:45, I did the show. I was done the show at about, 1 or so. Then I spent the next hour getting clips, making clips so I can post them, the next day, meaning today. So I lost a crap ton of sleep, and I thought I was going to come down here and talk positively about a good Phillies 3-1 victory. Well, we have an incompetent effing closer that doesn't know how to play baseball. That's where we're at, folks. That's exactly where we're at. But today I can come down here and talk very positively about my baseball team, and that makes me happy. Do all my worries about this team go away? No, nowhere close. None of my worries about this baseball team go away. It's better. Oh, it's better. But it's not away. This team is still too inconsistent. But it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. But, again, thank you guys for joining in the stream. If you're new or not, make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Please like. Please subscribe. We just had a great Phillies post-game show. We'll be back on Friday night after the Phillies in San Diego. We are live every Phillies game. after every single Phillies game for the Phillies post-game show live here on Broad Street Sports, your home for the best Philly sports talk every day and unfiltered. Make sure you like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys share this to people you know. Make sure you go and follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I just hit 1.5 on TikTok. I just hit 1.1 or 2 on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow me there. And, of course, turn on that notification bell so you know when I'm going live every single Phillies post-game show. And, of course, thank you all for joining up and listening to the Broad Street Sports Phillies post-game show. Your home for the best Philly sports talk every day and unfiltered. I love you guys all. I love you always. Have a good night.